I've got the forearm technique for you. I love this technique. It's so helpful for wrist issues, carpal tunnel, tendonitis, although you want to be careful about that and consult any kind of doctor or PT that you're working with around it. So one of the techniques is passive and one is active, and they're both really effective. I would try the passive one first and see if that works well. So here's what you do. Bring your roller. I'm going to recommend the firm roller for this one just because we tend to like a lot of sensation in our forearms, and that could not be you, so take it with a grain of salt. Come down onto all fours with the roller underneath you, and then you're going to bring this arm, let's start on the right, and just tuck it underneath the roller until the roller hugs the inner elbow. Just like that, okay? Hard to see a little bit. Now, place that on the ground, slide your knees apart until your whole body is resting on the roller. Okay, from there, you've already got a little pressure in the forearm. You're gonna wanna add more by bringing your supporting hand to the top of the roller and just resting the weight of it down on the edge. Now rest your head. Already there's a nice sensation on the top of the forearm. Start to kind of play with your angles here, rotating from side to side, just sort of shifting your weight to roll the roller up and down the top of the forearm. And then see if you can find a spot, something that feels sensational, and here's the pin and stretch. You can expand the hand wide and pick up the fingertips to the sky. Press them down to the ground. Maybe wave your hand, your wrist, from side to side. Feel free to move the roller down the forearm as needed to do the same move. Sway from side to side, pin down a spot, flex, press, wave. That's the top of the forearm. If you want the thumb line, flip your palm to face your knees. If you want the underside of the forearm, flip your palm to face the sky. And it's all the same moves. Swaying side to side, pinning, flexing, waving, resting. To get out of this, take that supporting hand underneath the roller, take the other one out, and switch to the other side. Okay? So that's the passive forearm technique, and already I feel a lot more relieved on this side. The active technique is more of a fascial line opening from the shoulder all the way down to the fingertips. So if you've got more of a systemic issue, it's like coming from the shoulder or coming from the hand, or you're not really sure, open up the whole thing with this next technique. You're gonna come to all fours again, but this time the roller's just next to you here. And then drop down into a puppy dog pose. That means your hips and your knees are in one line, your chest is reaching toward the ground. Take the forearm you wanna work, hover it over the roller and flip your palm to face the sky. And then take that forearm, the meat of it, right below the elbow, right at the top of the forearm, on top of the roller. Now you can rest your head on your supporting hand and start to glide the roller up and down. You're not going to feel anything until you start to drive this shoulder down your back and then drive it toward the floor. Now you're pinning down the forearm and stretching the whole line. This is an energetic reach. You've got to keep the shoulder low and you've got to keep it pressing toward the ground. You are intending to press your weight down into the roller. That's why this is a bit more active, okay? It takes a bit more of your involvement. And when you get there, when you get that pressure, the shoulder's down your back and then it's pressing toward the ground, then you start to rotate the upper arm bone in and out to wrap the roller around the top of your forearm. You might then flex and point the fingertips, rotate through the wrist. For some of you, pinning down this line and just stretching it is going to feel like enough. Again, just like you did on the other technique, Move the roller down as needed to work through that line. Okay. Whew. So from that fascial opening technique, that active technique, you should feel a bit more weightless from the one shoulder down to that same side hand as the other. Do the other side and let me know what you think.